In this video, we will see how we can measure the various parameters related with any signal, any electrical signal, with the help of digital storage oscilloscope. In the previous video, we have gone through the various functions which are available on the DSO. Now, specifically, in this video, we will measure the frequency, amplitude, and various parameters using DSO. So here, for any digital storage oscilloscope, there are two different methods for measurement of various electrical parameters. First one is, there is measure knob. By pressing this measure knob, you can see this function will appear in front of you. In these functions, we can select the source, that is, either we can select channel 1 or we can go for channel 2 by pressing this function button. So here you can see the change in the channel name, or we can say in source name. By again pressing this switch, we can select the type of quantity which we want to measure. So here for first two functions, frequency and amplitude has selected. To exactly demonstrate how this function works, we'll press this switch. So by changing this F4 button, you can see the next parameter is period, that is time period for that signal for one cycle, mean of the signal, then peak to peak voltage, then RMS value, voltage max, voltage minimum, top voltage V top, base voltage VB, and amplitude of the signal. So such type of parameters we can select of any signal. So here in the by using the measure function of DSO, directly we can see the frequency and the amplitude of the given signal for channel 1. So here you can read it as frequency which has appeared at the channel 1 is 5.023 kilohertz, and amplitude of the signal is 1.76 volt. Now here by using function generator, I am going to increase the frequency of signal for say 10 kilohertz. Now please observe the changes in the waveform appeared on the DSO. So see, I have applied approximately 10 kilohertz of signal. So here you can see channel 1 frequency equals to 10.23 kilohertz. Now I am going to increase the amplitude of the signal by making changes in the functions of function generator. So I have made amplitude of the signal at approximately 5 volt. So here you can observe the amplitude has increased of the input signal, and we need not to calculate it by making any calculations or by counting the vertical divisions as we do in the conventional oscilloscope. Here directly we get the amplitude value of the signal. At the same time, as I have already told you, here we can see various parameters of the signals also, like width of the signal in terms of microsecond 48.0, that is the width of the cycle, then my negative width, then duty cycle, my negative duty cycle, delay in the both signals, and the frequency. So this is the one method that we can use for measurement of any signal using measure function of the DSO. Now there is one more function using which we can calculate the various parameters, and that method of measurement is called as the cursor method. See, in the practical life, or we can say in day-to-day life, or in a real-time operations, every time signal doesn't appear in such a uniform manner. Sometimes any signal would have some spikes into it in terms of time domain, in terms of we can say amplitude domain, or we can say on y-axis there would be some spike. So for measurement of that arbitrary signal, there is a cursor method. So by pressing the cursor knob of the DSO, we can see one function has appeared over here. So it is in off position. So we will on it as type is voltage. So it is for channel 2, I must go for channel 1. Now by selecting the cursor mode and by selecting channel 1, you can see there are two pink lines have appeared on the screen. These pink lines are the basically cursors. First one is the top cursor, another one is the bottom cursor, or we can say these are the two thresholds. By adjusting their position, we can calculate the difference between two positions, and that will be indicated as a delta. For example, cursor 1 position has indicated, suppose now 1.84. So by adjusting the position of cursor 1, I have to adjust the position knob of channel 1. So you can see the variation into it. So I will fix it at the top side of the wave. Now I'll adjust this cursor 2 at the bottom side of the wave. So this signal will give, or these cursors will give us some reading. Cursor 1 is indicating 2.36 volt, whereas cursor 2 is representing minus 880 millivolt. So delta means the difference between these two cursor, which is 2.36 minus negative 880.0 millivolts. So it will become plus. So that has become 3.24 volt. That is the delta or difference between these two. Using this cursor position, what we can do, you can measure the amplitude variation, or we can measure the difference in the amplitude at any position of the signal. So from these 2 points, the voltage variation, or we can say amplitude of the signal, is 2.20 volt from top position to at the second position where I have placed the cursor 2. The same cursor method we can use for x-axis, or we can say on time domain also. So here we have to select the type of input. So instead of going for voltage, I have selected time. Now you can see the changes have appeared, or cursor has changed its axis. Now it is measuring the quantities which lies on the x-axis. So here by adjusting the knob, we can calculate the specific time domain characteristics. So suppose I have fixed my first cursor at this position, and if I want to measure the frequency, I should select a complete cycle. So by adjusting knob here, you can see I have selected one cycle. So as soon as I have selected complete or one cycle, you can see it has given me the difference between two cursors, that is the frequency of the signal on the time domain is 10 kilohertz. So this is the second method using which we can calculate the parameters at any instant of time or at any instant of amplitude. So this is the cursor method, and using such methods we can use the DSO for measurement of voltage and frequency of the signal.